Invocation, and we will have Commissioner Randall lead us in the Invocation, and Commissioner McClure lead us in the Pledge. Please rise.
You pray with me, please. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful day you've given us, this wonderful evening to come together as a family, as a city, as a commission, and pray be with us in the decisions we make this evening. And just always, help guide us in the right path. Be with all those across our country that are dealing with hardships. We've got fires and floods and all sorts of things going on. Pray you continue to be with the leaders of our country and help us to get through this time. I ask a special prayer this evening for our city manager who's leaving us and future, that he's embarking on a new journey, and be with him and his family as they go on a new chapter of their lives. And be with our citizens, Lord, and help us to always make the best decisions based on what will do best for the whole city. And pray you continue to be with us and guide us and bless us and be with us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners. Okay, Carla, would you please call the roll? Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Okay, next is the agenda approval. If there are any items that need to be removed from consideration on tonight's agenda, now would be the time to do so. I would like to make a motion that we remove item G from the consent agenda. And I know that's why a lot of folks are here this evening, and so I would like to actually hand this off to Mr. Thrower for a brief explanation.
Madam Mayor, I've requested that item G action on item G be postponed. The reason being, I've been asked for a legal opinion on the issue of whether the commission can directly place the issue on the ballot or if it has to be done by citizen petition. I'm still in the process of researching that. I'm coordinating with the New Mexico Municipal Attorney Association Counsel Randy Van Vleck, and I've just found some additional information. So I would like to have a firm legal opinion on that before the council takes action, so that, in fact, if you vote on the resolution to place it directly on the ballot, I have opined that, in fact, you can do so.
Okay. Now, and so just for a quick explanation for those in the audience who are here in support of this item, this does not prohibit us, once Mr. Thrower gets the legal answers he's looking for, from putting it on the ballot, on the agenda to be voted on at a future point.
I'm asking the action be postponed until I get you my firm legal opinion.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Thrower. Okay, so I have made a motion that we approve this evening's agenda with the exception of consent agenda item G. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay. All right, then as we move through the agenda, the next is citizen recognition. Mr. Ray.
Mayor, I believe the only recognitions that I would have is to say thank you to Commission, thank you for our citizens, thank you to the team that we have with the city. As we said earlier, it is an amazing team to work with. It's an honor and a pleasure to work with these people. Just like the whole back row, the Baptists sitting back there, love them to death. They're there for support all the time, and they make one amazing team for everything that we're doing. We are very excited. It didn't matter if the quote's right or wrong. The fact that it's Michael Jordan, there's nothing wrong with Michael Jordan. So thank you. You hit this one out of the park, and it's maybe bittersweet to have the last meeting. I was really worried you were going to ask me to do the prayer like you did in my first meeting, and I'd screw that up again. So I do appreciate that, Mayor.
Missed opportunity.
I know. It was good. Thank you, Commissioner Randall. So to the citizens and to the staff, that's my recognition. Thank you guys for being great all the time. It's good to disagree. It's good to have conversations. It's good to have dialogue. It wasn't so good when we pulled that item to see Victor looking that way like he just did, but he signed up for speaking time, so he's going to get a microphone. That's the beautiful thing about our system here. We do allow people to speak. We do allow people to be active members of the community, and it's incredible. So thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Commission. Thanks, staff. Thanks, citizens. That's all I got, Mayor.
I'm assuming there's no further employee recognition?
I didn't have anything, so
Okay,
that's where I was at.
nothing from commission?
It's all about him tonight.
I guess.
And cake.
All right, then moving on to the consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda will be voted on with one motion. If there are any items that do not meet the approval of all commissioners, a commissioner may request that the item be heard under items from the consent agenda. Okay, hearing no items to be removed, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
move to approve this evening's consent agenda.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a
Pardon me,
second.
Madam Mayor, with the proviso that G has already been removed.
Correct.
It's already off, so I don't have to say
Well, that's how I take it, that we've already pulled it, so we didn't have to say it, or
Right, I just
Just for
wanted to make it
clarification?
clear that
Okay.
we weren't including it after having excluded it.
I'm so confused.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve this evening's consent agenda, excuse me, which consists of items A through F. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, then there are no items from the consent agenda. Next, we'll move into citizens' input. If there is anyone here who would like to address the commission on any item not on this evening's agenda, you may have up to 3 minutes to do so. We do need you to sign up. Catch Stephen quickly. No, I'm kidding. No one's running for it. So we're going to tackle you. Thank you. Okay, and so we do have Mr. Victor Snover. Please come to the podium.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor, Commissioners. Best of luck to you, Josh. Sorry I didn't get to know you a little bit better a little bit sooner, but I hope Texas treats you well.
Thanks, sir.
And I'll try and take an opportunity to get in touch with you before you leave. Obviously, I'm not hiding my disappointment very well, and I guess I know I can't ask direct questions, so I'm asking questions that may be addressed later or may not. But I guess my biggest concern is I have personally known that this Sunday alcohol sales was going to be on the agenda for almost 3 weeks. I, as a private citizen, have known. So I can only assume that our commissioners have known for at least that long. And we are just now finding out on the day of the meeting that there's suddenly a legal concern. And I guess my question that may or may not be answered is why it's taking so long for that question to be asked and for that not to be fleshed out before it gets put on the agenda. I don't feel like due diligence has been done based on my perspective as a private citizen, and I'm sure there's a lot more that I don't see behind the scenes and from another higher perspective, you know, at the city government level. But my gut instinct and reaction is this is why people think government doesn't work for them, is because, in all due respect to the going away stuff, but this is city business that has been fairly well talked about for years here, long before I moved here, and we just can't seem to quite get it together. So now we run into the possibility that this gets pushed off to the next agenda or the next agenda, and then let's suppose it doesn't get voted, or that there is a petition that needs to be done, and the petition gets done, but now all of a sudden it's not done in time to get put on the ballot in time to get printed for March, and it always seems to be something that is holding us into the 19th century in Aztec, New Mexico. And it's extremely frustrating. I'm not a big drinker, that's not the point. The point is there is a desire for this to happen, and it always seems like there's some reason why we can't quite figure out, you know, which hand is doing what. And so I, again, feel like we're squandering an opportunity. We have citizens here that are mostly here only for that. They're here because I put out a call to ask them to come here and support the commission on their decision to give the citizens a choice as to how the direction they want their city to go. And I feel like we struck out tonight as a city. So that's all I have.
Madam Mayor?
Thank you.
Yes.
I know we
Mr.
generally don't respond, but I would like to respond on this one issue, if I may. The reason that it's coming off is that my legal opinion was requested Thursday afternoon. I was out of town on Friday, back in town yesterday. So the commissioners and the city clerk don't take this hit. I take this hit. Okay, hang on just a moment. And I'm assuming that this will be placed on the next, back on the next agenda in 2 weeks. So it's my hit as a city attorney. Again, I wasn't requested, my legal opinion wasn't requested till Thursday afternoon. I was out of town on Friday. But these folks don't take the hit. I take the hit on that.
So if it's none of my business or it's not something you can disclose, who would have asked that question to make it so important that that had to stop? If it wasn't the mayor or one of the commissioners or the city manager, then why is it relevant if somebody wants a legal opinion, I guess, is where my confusion is.
Let me back up just a second. You made the statement that you knew 3 weeks ago this was going to be on the agenda. Well, it had been discussed. Commissioners didn't respond.
Well, a couple weeks ago.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, when the clerk asked the question, preparing this agenda, we didn't have commissioners responding until last week that we wanted it on the agenda. So even though it had been talked about, we don't set agendas months in advance.
No, I understand that.
So,
and I'm not suggesting months, but I'm also suggesting that maybe the homework should have been done before it was placed on the agenda. I mean, because this is a fairly hot button topic, obviously.
no, we're aware that it's a topic that there was a lot of interest in. However,
It just seems like that would have been done ahead of time.
okay, fair enough.
And I apologize.
Fair enough. I think there's also a lack of understanding of internal processes and how things work.
And that's why I kind
So-
of tried to lead into that, because I do understand that there's things that I don't get as a private citizen, and that's why we're here.
Again, we anticipate putting it back on the very next agenda. I'm waiting to get some response back from some state personnel, and I anticipate it'll be back on the next agenda.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Then at this time, then we will, since there's no one else signed up for citizens input, we'll move into city manager, commissioner, and attorney reports. Mr. Wright.
No report, Mayor.
What? I have no
This is your
report.
last opportunity.
Yeah. I also have no report this evening. Mayor Pro Tem?
Just a couple of things. I did attend the MPO meeting last week before, and nothing really we're still working on the JPA for the revised JPA, Joint Powers Agreement, between the cities and the MPO, so they're still working on that. I do have Northwest Mexico Seniors tomorrow, and then another MPO meeting on the 19th. And I did attend, the mayor and I attended the chamber banquet. It was a fun night. And we had the business of the year was the Aztec Little Flower Shop. Did I say that right? Yes. And then Herb Stinson and Randy School. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. The chamber did a good job as always, and it was fun. So for the Citizen of the Year awards for all that they've done for the city, and Bliss Schluter was the.
I did not do any city business because I was out gallivanting across the country. I am somewhat dismayed at no more library advisory board meetings with you here.
You mean airport?
Airport.
You blew your one chance of greatness.
Man.
She's taking over the library advisory board. She's going to start attending it. Yeah.
And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for all of your hard work and for being there and answering questions I had and being such a great leader and having the respect of the staff and citizens of the community, and you will be missed, you and your family.
Thank you.
Commissioner Randall.
I'm bummed I didn't make the chamber. Miss Schluter's like my favorite teacher in high school, so that's awesome. Good for her. I have Lodgers Tax next Monday. It was rescheduled from they didn't have a quorum last time, so I'll be there next week and have a report at the next meeting, hopefully. And same thing, man. Just want to say thanks for everything. I mean, as a boss, as a man, father, husband, everything, you're awesome. So thank you, and we'll miss you.
Thanks, sir.
Commissioner McClure.
First, I'd like to thank all of the citizens that came tonight in your support, and also all of you who are considering running for commission come March. So there are 3 seats up, and I know a few of you might be interested in running. I think that's great. I did get contacted by San Juan County Has Talent. No, they did not ask me to be in the show. But I am going to be a judge, and so that ought to be fun. The gal, Pamela Drake, who asked me to do it, didn't realize that my background was in show business, so it'll be really fun to do that. And then on the side of our city workers, I had my tool belt on today when I saw the electric department down on North Rio Grande. Just trimming those trees. I didn't know why they were trimming them because there was really no electric lines there, but I don't know. I mean, I can turn the corner now easy without running into a tree. But I have to say, there's 3 young men out there doing their work, and I love the chipper. But what I was most amazed with that, how much cleanup they did afterwards. I mean, they really did. They raked. They threw it in there. They used the blower. So, I mean, after they left that particular spot, it looked like they'd never even been there. So I thought that was really great. And, again, thank you guys for showing up. I know you're taking time out of your schedules for this, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, at this time, then, we'll move into department reports. If there are any departments that need to give an update, we'll move to the podium. I'm sorry, Mr. Thrower, did you have it? My apologies.
I don't really have a substantive report. I would like to add my congratulations to Josh. I just finished 12 years last month as the Aztec City Attorney, and I've worked under city managers. I can honestly say that you've made the last 7.5 years a pleasure. And if the city attorney gave you an opinion without reservation, you went with that opinion unless I was proven woefully wrong, and that happened occasionally, but not very often. And it's been a pleasure working with you. Best to you and your family. We're sorry to lose you, but we wish you the best down in the Lone Star State.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay. All right, department reports. No one has stepped forward? Okay. Okay. Then at this time, then, we will be moving into closed session. Thank you to everyone who did come for the open session. So we'll be moving into closed session pursuant to state law, section 10-15-1H2, limited personnel matters, city manager. This is Sally Burbridge, voting aye.
Sherry Sight, voting aye.
Sherry Rogers, voting aye.
Austin Randall, voting aye.
Katie McClure, voting aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.